So, Kenny, you were just exiting the statue of the bold king, and I guess you're carrying Niang with you because she was. Uh, well, I think she's alert, right? You brought her, you
Back
resuscitated
to
her.
one wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's up to you whether you wanna whether you want to actually assist her or not. She can probably run on her own.
I'll support her if necessary, but otherwise she can do whatever.
Okay.
I'll tell her we should run. We should go back to the inn.
Okay. She nods and she goes with you. And you guys were staying at the inn in Fawn, right?
Yes, in near the Shui, district number one, I think it was, or
So
somewhere
that.
nearby.
Yep.
One of
So
the close to the temple, a statue, rather.
I think you were staying at. Does the Golden Pavilion sound like it?
If it's run by a lady proprietress,
Yep. Yep. Um. Yeah, you were staying at the Golden Pavilion.
and I'll try to sneak back into our room.
All right. Okay. So. Um. All right. So, can you make a? Do you have any kind of city survival role?
City survival, no.
All right. Can you? Do you have a survival skill?
Yeah, wilderness.
Okay. Can you?
Does Niang have anything?
Let me see. I don't know if she does.
Cities are my job.
Yeah, I'm too used to my brother leading the way into these.
Uh, um, she's probably better than you, I'm guessing. So you might want to have her leading the way.
She
Um,
can lead the way.
all right. And what's your stealth?
My stuff is 10.
All right. All right. All right. So she sort of jumps forward and leads the way and ducks into an alley, and you guys make your way back to the inn, and you can hear like a gong smashing like repeatedly and loudly from the area around the temple. So there's definitely some kind of alarm being sounded at this point. Um, but when you get to the Golden Pavilion, it looks like it's all clear.
Alright, we'll go back through the window into our rooms then.
Okay. All right. You get? Can you give me an athletics roll for getting into the window?
Can I use Crawling Tiger?
Yeah, of course.
I got 10.
Oh, okay. All right. So you leap up onto the wall and climb into the window, and Niang is able to climb up the wall as well, and you guys both make it into your room, and you can hear within about 10 minutes you can hear the sounds of soldiers in the streets. Sort of, it doesn't seem like they're coming to the inn, but they seem to be patrolling in larger numbers.
Um, I guess how are Niang's wounds? Like she was
She
pierced by a spear, so.
Yeah, she was impaled. I mean, she's looking pretty. She's just sort of leans against the bed and is looking pretty pale.
Well, it's probably not appropriate, but I offer to tend to her wounds.
Okay, well, she says you've already done enough. I just need to rest, and then I'll be fine.
Hold on, so get some rest and I'll keep watch.
She nods. And all right. Do you want to do anything special for the watch?
Uh, Not particularly. No, I'll just make sure all the windows are closed and the lights are out and stuff, and
Okay. All right.
just
So
otherwise rest.
what's
Yeah.
your detect?
Uh, 2d10. If it's sight, then it's 3d10.
All right. right. So you can hear sounds downstairs late at night while you're keeping watch, and you hear a man talking to the proprietress.
Can I make out what's being said?
From it's a little difficult from the comfort of your in room to
Yeah.
hear what they're saying.
I guess I'll open the door and sort of peek out.
Okay. All right. So you can see that there's a man, and he's dressed in. He's got like a really funky looking helmet, and he looks like a commander of some kind. And he's showing posters to the proprietress, and one of the posters definitely has an image of Niang on it, and it's got both an image of her dressed as a man and an image of her dressed as a woman.
I'll I'll keep. I won't do anything. But I'll keep an eye out.
Okay. All right, and you can see that the and you're trying to hear what they're saying too. So
Yeah.
So he basically asks if she's seen anybody like this woman staying at the inn, and if she was accompanied by a man, and to inform the local chief if she sees anything, and she says, "Oh no, I haven't seen anybody that looks like that at all," and then he leaves the inn.
Is that because we're disguised, or because how the depictions are they accurate depictions of Niang without her disguise, or
They're a picture of her in the disguise as a man and a picture of her as she looks right now.
okay?
And within moments, there's a knock at the door.
I'll answer.
The proprietress pokes her head in, and she says, "I believe the authorities are looking for you."
I'll nod and say that's to be expected. I thank you for not telling them where we are.
She nods, and she says, "I can only, protect you for so long. Understand?"
I'll nod and say we will try to leave as soon as possible.
She nods, and she just kind of, she looks over at Niang with a little bit of concern, and then closes the door.
And I guess, yeah, we'll just let's spend the rest of the night and
All right. So in the morning, Niang looks greatly refreshed. She's still wounded, obviously. That it was a spear that hit her, but she seems better. And she says,
I'll give her like a basic poultice or something from one of my
Okay.
herbs, and just tell her to and let her apply it herself. But
"Okay." She thanks you, and she says, "What do you think we should do?"
I'll shrug and say this was your quest mainly. So now that you've seen the difficulty, do you think it's wise to try again, or shall we just leave and come back when you're stronger?
She says, "I think I need to recover, and then I need to come up with a better strategy. We might need more people too."
I'll nod and say yes. It seems to be heavily guarded. And what's the situation up like towards the top? Because I stayed in the bottom to distract the other
She
golden
says,
figures.
"I didn't get very far, and I encountered a man with a Zhen bird, and a very effective spear technique. And so you saw the
A
results."
natural man or a bronze statue looking
I
thing?
think he was a real man.
I'll nod and say, well, um, or obviously, the Yao Heart repository is going to be very well guarded, but I didn't expect it to be so well guarded by both supernatural means and regular means. I mean, because the bronze men that I was killing they were like humans as well, right? They weren't actually, were they humans or were they
No,
actually?
they were bronze. They were like they. I mean, you don't know is the answer because you're not sure
Well,
what.
they weren't bleeding when I pierced them with
No,
arrows. So
you don't know exactly what those things were. But she says I might need to do more research in order to arrive at a clearer answer.
yeah, maybe we can find out what the defense mechanism with the statues is. If we can disable that, then at least that'll be one thing less to worry about.
She says, but either way, you made an effort to come with me here, and I will return the favor to you. She says, my sword is at your disposal.
I'll thank her, I promise to come back to help you when you next choose to try again. Um, and hopefully next time we can do it with a bit more aid uh, and a bit more knowledge on what's actually inside the tower.
I think if we can get more numbers, we're more likely to succeed. I think the problem is we were overwhelmed.
Yeah. I was hoping I'd be able to distract statues while you climbed up, but that obviously didn't work out since they had both living guards and uh, automatons, whatever they were. But either way, let's recover and then we'll try to leave Fan, hopefully without causing any more incidents, and then and we'll see if we can. Well, if our plan is to storm or to deal with the demon emperor, sorry, the glorious emperor anyway, then we will probably have to amass a number of people, and maybe we can split off a portion of those forces to make an assault on the statue of the bald king, since taking care of all the Yao will undoubtedly deal a great blow to the emperor anyway.
This sounds like a useful strategy to me. I think I think how do we have a force? What's the situation?
Actually, I don't remember if I know that the rest of them are gathering forces. Like, um, I'll just nod and say, well, we are in the midst of finding allies, and I'm sure my brother and my mother are hard at work on gathering capable warriors to stand against the emperor.
She says, well, I will lend a hand in those efforts. Um, she says I can recover on the road. I don't need to stay at the inn further if we're in danger here.
And I guess yeah, we'll I'll scout out the downstairs area first to make sure that there aren't any guards or anything around. And then...
Let's see. No, the downstairs looks empty. Just the proprietress and her husband.
Um, I'll give her a tail and ask for some food for the road, and
She she nods to you and she
like
what kind of
obviously
what, kind,
not a hotel, not a hotel's worth of food. Like
how,
just give me 3 days of rations for two people, and the rest can be for any inconvenience we cause.
do you give her a silver or a gold tail?
Silver, silver,
Okay.
silver.
All right. So she nods politely. She goes in the back and she comes out with some wrapped up buns and hands them to you.
Thank you. We'll be leaving now. Do you know if there's a safer route out of the city than?
She says I can show you a way. It'll be much safer. And she says when you're ready to leave, let me know and I'll take you.
We can go now. We'll just need to change our appearance a bit. And
All right. So she takes you into the basement and there's uh, a chamber, and she opens it up, and you can see all kinds of equipment in there, like really fancy looking swords and like artifacts and things like that. And beyond the chamber is a small tunnel, and she starts leading the way through the tunnel.
this is a bit. I'll just say, well, this establishment doesn't seem like it's a common inn.
She says, well, we all have our secrets in fun, and
Oh no.
and she says, I operate a small business, and it sometimes requires discretion and secrecy.
Oh no, and I won't ask any other questions.
And so when she takes you to the exit, which is it's not outside of the town, but it's in like a another area of the town further south.
Yeah.
She says you might want to look up the name Zikang. That may be of help to you.
G Kang. XI or ZI?
Zikang.
I'll nod and say, many thanks for your assistance. Um, and I will return you repay the favor one day.
She nods and she says, "I'm sure you will," and she, seals the door and leaves you guys in the street.
So where are we? Are we in like the Shunlu
Oh, hold on.
Quan area or?
Let me get my map again. Oh, wrong book. You're in the Lu area of town, which is quite far from where you were.
Yeah,
And there's
which
a
is still good. Um, and that is Nang able to like disguise herself again, or
so she is dressed as a man, but I mean that's the look she had on one of the posters. So
you know? And I guess the only way out is through the twin gates.
she says I could try to dress as a beggar or something.
Do I have any? Da, da, da. Um, yeah, sorry for the best. Unless we want to wait until night. How tall are the walls?
I think the walls are 12 feet or so. And
12
they actually
feet.
have very strict rules in the wards at night, so it can be more tricky.
Okay.
She says, "I can try to disguise myself further if you give me a moment."
Yes, try to disguise yourself as a slightly different male.
Let's see. I just want to make sure I have her correct skill before I do this. Okay. All right. So she basically she finds a really dirty alley, and she takes off her
Rolls around
hat.
in it.
Yeah, she rolls around in the filth a bit. She like undoes her hair so that it's just all unkempt and gross, and she dirties her clothes. And she looks like a pretty convincing beggar, and she definitely does not resemble the person she was a moment ago. Um, and she kind of, you notice too, like her, it's not just it's not just like the superficial aspects of the change. She seems to carry herself differently, and so it's quite convincing.
Did she roll high on the disguise check?
She rolled very high. Uh, so, so what would you like to do?
Well, we just walk out the city then.
Okay, all right. So let's see. All right, so the guards don't stop you, and you make it out. And where do you want to
It
go?
feels like it's a lot easier in like ancient times to just walk past the city gates as a wanted person than it is like nowadays. You have to go through customs and you have to get a passport check and all that. Uh, all right, in that case, we'll probably make our way back to Wuzhan.
Okay. All right. So, let me see. How far are you from Wuzhen? You're 2 days.
2 days
All right.
away.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to switch over to Steven, and then I'm going to switch back to you.
Yep.
All right. So, Steven, what are you doing?
We were traveling to Zhang Village.
And had you guys arrived there, or had you guys not started yet when we left last time?
Don't think we'd started.
Don't
All
think
right.
they started either.
All right. So can you give me a roll for the first day of the journey?
Okay, well, I imagine Boris Drunken Sword will be leading the way and he wouldn't be drunk yet.
You underestimate him.
7.
All right. And Kenny, can you give me a roll for your first day of your journey?
Survival.
Oh, yes!
I got 9.
Okay. All right.
I
Well-
finally got that 10 for being able to use adaptation of the maimed.
Oh, so you can use it now?
Yeah, I
Okay.
finally got the 10.
All right, so you're starting to get that. So as you're walking through the woods, you just you finally realize the secret movements that you need in order to work around this terrible injury you sustained. And can you give me another roll, Steven?
I got 1.
Okay, all right. So let's mark that for a moment. And can you give me one more roll?
I got 9.
You got a 9. All right, so you make it to Wuzhen, Kenny.
Cool.
So I'm going to deal with Steven's thing first, then we'll deal with Kenny's thing. All right. All right, can you roll 2d10 for me, Steven?
I got a 10 and a 5.
All right, so you got a 15. All right. Um, can you roll 3d10 for me as well?
3.
3d10.
4, a 9, and a 2.
All right. Let me just see.
I've never seen 3D10 being rolled for the encounters.
I'm scared, Kenny.
All right, so you're on a border. I need you to I need you to roll me one d10 just so I can determine a thing, because this hex literally goes through the border.
5.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it's. I need to see who that is. This comes down to who you're bumping up against. All right. All right.
Sounds
So
fancy.
so you're wandering through the hills, and a group of constables led by a sheriff approach you, and he sort of motions for you to stop.
Do I recognize him?
No, you don't recognize this guy.
Okay, I stop.
He walks up to you and he says, "What's your name?" And you're with Boris Drunken Sword, and you're with Adam, right?
Yes. Oh, my name is Shang Fei.
Okay, he looks you up and down. Are you doing anything to alter your appearance at all?
No.
All right. He says, "Your name's not Dao Feng by any chance?"
Dao Feng? Oh, isn't that the name of that wanted guy? I think I've seen posters of him. He's a handsome fellow.
He walks over to Boris Drunken Sword and just looks him up and down. And he says, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you guys are all wanted men.
I guess Peng would just chime in, going like, "Well, I'm definitely not wanted." Kenny, do you want to take? Do you want to control Boris Drunken Sword again, or shall I control everyone?
I don't mind. It's up to you. If it would make it easier for me to do Drunken Sword, then.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you control Boris Drunken Sword?
You did a good job last time.
I think Boris Drunken Sword will just go like, wanted? Not even my wife wants me. Who else would want a useless person like me? And take a big gulp of wine.
He says, well, the Emperor for one.
I'm not into men.
He sort of looks aside. He says, I'll ignore that insult for right now. But I'm going to need to take you into the city.
No, you don't.
He says, are you resisting?
In a sense.
I think Boris Drunken Sword goes, and then pull his sword out and go into sword stance.
All right, okay. All right, so the sheriff just says to his men, attack, and can everybody make speed rolls?
Yes, I can. I got a 9.
All right.
Not having to roll at minus 1d10 is amazing.
What were we doing minus 1d10 for? To give 0 speed?
No, because losing a leg means I have a minus 2 to speed.
Boris Drunken Sword got a 9 as well.
All right, so the sheriff actually gets to go first.
But Boris Drunken Sword is in sword stance.
Oh, okay, so Boris Drunken Sword can go first. There's I should say there's 15 constables.
So what you're saying is I should use sword whipping strike cathartically.
Wait, what's your imbalance like? Because remember you got the chi spirit.
Does he have a chi spirit?
Yep. At least that's what Alex said to me earlier.
What was he? What? Does he have a chi spirit? Do you remember, Brendan?
I think. Yeah, because he went and balanced again, and this was a while back, but we haven't had a chance to sort it out. That's what he said. Like, I just quoted a message he sent to me earlier when he sent me the character sheet.
Okay, so I'm not going to have you worry about that right now, Kenny, because the particular chi spirit thing he's dealing with is fairly unusual and actually not that disruptive. So just you can just play Boris Drunken Sword as you know. I don't want to add further complexity to a difficult situation here.
Yeah, I think last time I used 2 cathartic techniques, so that's only 6 in balance, and I think that would have been recovered over the travels, right?
Okay,
6 in balance. 6 in balance over 2 days.
Yeah, don't worry about the chi spirit thing right now because it's overly complicated.
All right, in that case, sword whipping strike cathartically then. Jan is plus 1. Jan is plus 2d10, right?
Yes, for accuracy bonus.
5d10. I got a 10 at the highest.
All right, so that's gonna hit. Let me just see if anybody's capable of evading it.
This hits all this hits 30 targets apparently.
All right, roll damage.
4d10 open damage.
All right.
Oh wow, 3 sevens and a 1.
All right.
Lucky sevens.
All right. So do you want to kill the constables?
Yes.
All right. So the constable. So you just in a blaze of green energy, you just knock the constables down, and the sheriff collapses, and he's just gurgling blood, and he's not dead yet though. He's just kind of on the ground hissing.
I'll just like lean down a bit and just slap his face a few times and just go like, "You should have just ignored us when you saw us."
He says your list of crimes grows.
Not if there aren't any witnesses, and I'll finish him off.
Okay. All right. So
Let's loot the corpses.
Does he have another badge?
actually, he would have a. Let me see. What's his? I'm not 100% sure on the ranks. Let me just check on that.
So actually, that was no imbalance because I've got 10 on the attack roll.
He has a 6A badge.
6A.
Yep. Not a badge, but like an emblem. And he's got 15 silver tails on him.
Holy shit.
Taking that.
15, did you say?
Yeah, 15.
Oh, I think probably just take 5, and then everyone takes 5. I feel like Boris Johnson sword himself would be like, "Oh, I'll take all of them, and then here, have a few for you, and here, a few for you," type of thing.
All right, so you pass out the silver tails, and so I'm just gonna go back to Kenny's actual character in Wuzhen, because you've arrived with Neon, and I want to know what you want to do when you get there.
Go to the bookshop again.
All right, so you go to the bookshop, and your friend is there. Hold on, let me just. Mr. Pei is there.
Mr. Pei.
And he greets you when you arrive, and he says, "You two okay?"
We had a bit of a mishap in Farn, but otherwise okay. Can we rest here? Where's the Saffron Tigress and
He says,
Darfan?
"Your mother went to assist Iron God Mung in Tungon, and your brother went west to Zhang Village to find out about a heroes meeting of some kind."
Oh, are they gathering allies for to stand against the Emperor?
There was some talk of that, I believe. I don't know the overall plan.
I'll just nod it and say, okay. Then we shall. Would it be okay if we waited here for them?
Yes, of course. He brings you downstairs to the chamber that you stayed at before, and he gives Niang a separate room, and he says, "Do you need anything while you're waiting?"
That's fine.
Okay, so sorry. He says, "If you do need anything, just let me know."
Thanks for your help as usual.
And Kenny, because you're playing Boris Drunken Sword, I'm going to shift most of the action over to.
That's fine. That's why I'm happy to just wait. In Wuzhen.
And all right, so you guys are on the road again. Can I get another roll, Stephen, for the journey to Zhang Village?
Yeah, I guess you'd probably be at least one stage of drunk by now, so 10 and 5.
All right, let me see.
Probably isn't high enough.
It might be actually, but let me just double check it. I think it's right on the. right on the cusp in this area. Yes, TN5 in Fanju
Oof.
Province. Benefits of living inside the Empire. Um, okay, so can you give me another roll?
6.
All right, so you make it into the Fox Spirit Hill area, and you pass by Southwind Manor. Can I get one more roll?
8.
All right, so at the base of the hill, you can see Zhang Village. It's about a little over a day's travel from Southwind Manor.
Is that what banner where you're supposed to be meeting these heroes, or?
No, it's just a
Think
very well-known location.
I think they're gathering at Jean Village.
Okay.
So I guess we'd like make camp if it's like a day away style.
No. You guys are just outside the village, but I was just saying that the village is about a day away from.
Oh, okay. I guess we'll go in to find an inn for the evening.
Okay. All right. So you go in and you see that there's a place called the Golden Hook and another place called Midnight Orchid Inn.
Midnight Orchid Inn sounds more mysterious. Let's go for that one.
All right. Okay. So you go into the inn, and you heard sort of sounds of people before you entered, and as soon as you walk in, everybody is just suddenly quiet, and you see number one. Oh wait, no, it was a different character, so you don't recognize him. So you see a man in purple robes with golden dragons sort of embroidered on them. You see a woman who looks like a Yenli priestess, sort of standing regally in the back. You see another woman who looks like she's in her 70s, and she is dressed very archaically. She looks like an old aristocrat or something. And you see a woman dressed in sort of loose fitting armor and with like a really sort of high fancy hairdo. And they just kind of all look over at you when you enter.
Let's go and get drinks.
Yeah, Drunken Sword probably stride forward to an empty table and just like, waiter, where's the wine?
All right, they all kind of sort of sit down at tables and get quiet, and a waiter walks over to you, and he says, "What can we get for you?"
Wine! Bring me some wine.
All right,
I'll have some wine too.
he brings out some sorghum wine for you. He says, "Will you be getting rooms for this evening?"
Yes, we will. You just need the one room.
He nods, and what would you guys like to do?
Yes, drink and chat for a bit.
All right. What is your empathy rolls?
0.
Hold on a second, I think.
1
Boris
for
Drunken
Boris
Sword.
Drunken Sword.
Yeah, 1.
And I don't know. Peng.
If Peng has any.
All right. So well, Boris Drunken Sword, he definitely picks up on the fact that like everybody is just sort of seated and looking at you guys and waiting for you to either go to your room or leave.
I have a really strong urge just to like loudly be like chat about these heroes that are supposedly meeting here. But
Oh, no, I
also
think
that's
Boris
a
Drunken
terrible
Sword.
idea.
I think Boris Drunken Sword will actually ask you about that. He was just like, so that Feng, where are we going? Where's this heroes gathering you spoke about?
I didn't speak about it. Peng did.
Oh, Peng.
Are you saying it very loudly, Kenny?
He's drunk.
And boorish.
He's drunk and boorish.
Okay. But is it loud enough for them to hear you say that? Like, is it?
I mean, if they're sort of like keenly focused on us, they would hear it. Like if
Okay.
they were engaging in normal conversation with each other and like not being too aware, they wouldn't. So depends on how quiet the situation is.
Okay, so the woman, uh, who's dressed as a Yenli priestess walks over to you, and she sort of bows, holding her fly whisk, and she says, "May I ask your names?"
I'll
Name's
down
Alpha.
my glass of wine and like I like wine and I have a sword.
I'm Dao Feng. This is my associate and superior. Although I'm not quite sure how that stands at the moment. Well, never mind, it's not important. Um, yes, and his name is Boris Drunken Sword, and this is our associate Peng.
She says, "Are you
May
Dao?"
I ask yours?
She says, "My name is Pei Ruomei of Perfect Heaven Lineage Sect." Are you the
Do I know
heroes
that
from
person?
Daozhu?
Yes, actually, we are.
She says, "Then you've arrived just in time. We were trying to elect a leader."
Oh, a leader for what?
For the war against the Emperor. To help unite all of the sects.
Such a typical Bouchard thing.
Such a thing even possible?
Is what possible?
Uniting all the sects?
Well, not all of them, but the ones that are willing to involve themselves in the conflict.
Well, that's excellent, Dalfang, says Boris Drunken Sword. We were just talking about how we needed more people to help us fight against the Emperor.
She sort of, motions. She says, "Please come sit with us."
I'll go sit with them.
Join them.
All right, so the man in purple robe sort of smiles at you after she introduces you guys as the heroes from Daozhu to everybody, and she explains to them that you guys are sort of the reason that a lot of this is taking place, and the man in purple robes smiles at both of you, and he says, "So what is your strategy for defeating the Emperor?"
Well, one idea we had was to to obtain the means of the ritual to creating the Yao. If we can steal that from him, we can prevent him from bolstering his immortal army, and without the ability to replenish them, we can whittle them down and then kill them.
And Boris Drunken Sword will pull out the Yao rattling saber and say, and we have this weapon from borrowed from what was his name?
Master
Zhong.
Master Zhong, which is capable of slaying Yao for good. And I've already managed to kill several, and I put like a pouch of like Yao teeth on the table. Have they dissipated, or have they like?
No, they're still there.
Yeah.
He says, "What about soldiers?"
We don't have any of those.
Which is what we're trying to resolve. Which is why we were hoping to find more allies. Indeed, we are strong, but there are too few of us.
So
We need cannon fodder.
Pei Ruomei says, "I believe I can supply soldiers."
Does the beggar sect fight against the Empire or the Emperor, or they're generally speaking antagonistic towards the Emperor, right?
Are you asking me, the GM, or are you saying that in character?
In asking the GM.
Oh, they're generally antagonistic, but they're also smart about it. They don't generally do what
Go
this
direct
crowd-
conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't hold a hero summit at an inn, that's for sure.
But they would give like tactical assistance.
Yeah.
Look towards Ping and go, Ping, do you have any suggestions for how we can find more men?
He says, let me see, what would Ping know? He says, well, we could try turning some of the generals. Some of them are corruptible, from what I've been told.
That seems like a fine idea. We can try to bribe them with wine. Says
So Pei Ruomei says, we still need to establish the what's going to happen when we do defeat the glorious emperor. She says, if you want Hyanese soldiers, you may need to consider putting the Hyanese king on the throne.
Hold on a second. Well, nap time. Hyan is so far away. Well, again, it's not really that far away. It's just, isn't the Hyan?
I want to be
Isn't Hyan currently ruled by a queen though? Is it?
Sort of. It's ruled by a king, and the queen is ruling in his stead.
Ah, okay.
He's a very effete, ineffective king who is locked up in a pleasure palace, basically.
Ah, I see. I don't think Drunken Sword has much to offer in the ways of tactics and strategy. So he'll just keep quiet and drink his wine. And if the question of whether who should be the leader of the alliance comes up, then you go, oh, of course, Auntie Saffron Tigress should be the one to lead lead an alliance. After all, she was the one. She and her husband were the ones who saved many brave men from the clutches of the emperor. Before Apothecary Chin finally succumbed to the enemy's forces.
So Bronze Master looks at you and he says, I'm willing to throw my support behind this woman, but I'm not willing to serve under a Hyanese king.
Is there any Hyanese people here?
You suspect only Pei Ruomei is Hyanese.
Okay. So I can't just outright come out and say, why don't we just lie? Well, the most important thing is we get the glorious emperor off of the throne. We can sort out who takes over after that.
Do we need to worry about that? In my opinion, as long as we kill the glorious emperor and halt the production of these foul Yao, then that's all that really matters.
I mean, when a building's on fire, do we wait until we have a plan of how we're going to rebuild it before we put the fire out?
So, the man in purple robes slams a book down on the table, and it says it just says the Book of Jinlong on it, and he says, according to this text, the descendants of Sunan and Bao would be surnamed Fan. And so I propose that whoever we put on the throne is a person that has this surname.
So we just need to find someone called Fan. All right, that's not hard.
He says, I like the way you think. And he kind of looks over at Pei Ruomei. And she says, well, I don't think I'll be giving you my soldiers then.
How would I know how powerful their sect is?
Which sect? The
one that's
Heaven.
like saying that they're not given us their soldiers.
Perfect lineage sect.
So you would
Perfect.
you would probably know they have about 250 members, but you don't think she was talking about disciples. You think she was talking about Hyanese soldiers or something. Do you have knowledge places?
No. Boris struck a sword by. Oh, I
Uh,
think it's the area we're in at the moment, so that wouldn't cover
But
Hyan.
but you could do it at minus 1d10. Oh, you know what? No, Adam would know this. Adam would definitely
Okay.
know this. So Adam whispers in your ear. He says, Hyan has 100,000 soldiers.
Ooh, that could be useful.
And then he whispers to you. Let me see what the number is for the. He says the Empire has 300,000.
So yeah, that would go a long way to helping us combat 150,000.
well, the thing is, like, we don't need to kill the enemy army, do we? Like, if we kill the Emperor, like, stop any means they have of performing the ritual.
Well,
Um,
we need a decent-sized army, not one that rivals it, but decent enough to kind of do a Return of the King kind of distraction army while we sneak in through like a back like entrance and just like kill the Emperor.
Boris Shrunken Sword will just go, well, I don't know anything about this, who's been the ruler and emperor and all of that shit, but, you know, why don't we just make it so that whichever side claims the emperor's head is the one who decides who sits on the throne next?
That does seem like a fair bargain here. That there can be no argument that.
So Peirume stands up and she looks a little bit irritated at both of you, and she says, "If you ask me, this is becoming quite reckless," and she storms out the door.
I'm going to follow her.
I'm going to stay and keep drinking.
Okay. Do you want to be obvious in your following of her, or do you want to be sneaky?
Yes,
All right. So
I'm not.
all right. So she stops when she realizes she's being followed, and she says, "What is it?"
I'm sorry if I upset you in there. I've not ever thought. I didn't ever think I would be in a position in my life where I'd have a say or an influence in the entire government of our empire. I'm a little bit overwhelmed, and I seem to have offended you.
She says, "You haven't offended me. I just don't want to place somebody named Fan, who I don't know, on the throne. If you want our soldiers, we're going to have to put the Hyanese family onto the throne."
But is it better for Hyan as well if the glorious regardless of who sits on the throne afterwards, the glorious emperor isn't in power?
I'm sorry. The connection kind of broke up there.
Okay.
Well, can you repeat that?
Would it not be better for Hyan, regardless of who sits on the throne afterwards, that this tyrant of an emperor is no longer on the throne? Can the ascension not be sorted out after the tyrant's been removed?
Not if the person who's put on the throne is Bronze Master's puppet.
Well, can we just? Well then.
She says.
Well then we can.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well then why don't you say we're going along with Bronze Dragon's plan and then and make sure that but still make sure Hyanese to put on the throne.
She says, "Well, I have your support."
Are there any Hyanese people with a surname Fan?
I'm sorry. Oh, possibly. There possibly are.
I mean, if the one side's condition is that this person must be surnamed Fan, and the other side's condition is that it must be someone from Haiyan, then just find someone from Haiyan.
That's a very good point, actually.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say that to her. Oh, how about a Hyanese person called Fan? Are there any of those?
She says there may be, but I want the king on the throne.
What's the king's name?
Hold on, let me get my document so I don't mess it up. This is something I should definitely know off the top of my head.
Like, if the kingdom's too large, and technically speaking, it's going to be difficult for someone in Haiyan to rule all the way up to the empire. So he'll have to appoint like a regent or something. As long as like the regent, like maybe it could be as a prince or something, a prince of Haiyan with a surname, with a duke or something with a surname Fan, then that might work.
So it's Chiang Ching is the name of the king.
Okay, would he be willing to change his name?
She says, "I don't know if that would work." She says, "The Bronze Master is concerned about the lineage."
Well, can we not forge paperwork, make it seem like there's a connection between them?
She says, "As long as I have your support when all this is done, and we can outmaneuver Bronze Master, then I will lend you my forces."
That's agreeable to me.
She says, "Very well, I will return with you."
Okay, let's go back into the inn then.
All right, so she goes back with you, and Bronze Master sort of looks at you a little bit suspiciously, and he says, "So we're making Saffron Tigress our leader now, are we?"
Makes sense. My mother has a great reputation amongst those who are against the Empire, with all the heroes she's helped rescue, and my father's death has helped him has made him become a martyr. And I believe my mother would best be able to channel that.
What about her martial arts abilities?
You wouldn't want to test her.
Do you think she can beat Pei Xinyu? And he points over at the aristocratic-looking woman.
I don't know, do I?
You probably don't know much about Pei Xinyu, so you probably don't have much of a read.
Well,
do you have knowledge sex?
We do know that
stuff?
Saffron.
Yes, I have knowledge, sex, and an expertise in people, so I've got
So
two.
why don't you make a roll on that?
Like,
I got
don't
a
we also
9.
know
I got
that
2 9s.
Saffron Tigress is like one of the best disciples of whomever.
Yeah,
the sect
she's at
was.
least 2 rank 5.
So, what did you get?
9.
9. All right. So. Okay, so Pei Xinyu. You've heard some stories about Pei Xinyu and her emanating palm technique and her Pacific Heart technique.
Pacific is in the ocean.
As in peaceful.
Oh, they have a Pacific Ocean?
no Pacific Ocean. It's a peaceful heart technique, and the Pacific Heart technique creates this storm of energy that sort of paralyzes and pacifies people. but it's hard to say. They also what you've heard is that she's extremely righteous. She's so righteous she is the former wife of a man named General D, who she refuses to have anything to do with because he was involved with the glorious emperor. And she resides on Snake Peak, where she's sort of renowned for controlling the different serpents that reside there.
Okay, so she's very badass, but I think my mum could take her.
He says, "Well, I think we should put it to the test. Then I don't think we should leave it to, a guess."
Well, my mother's not here at the moment, so where is she at the moment?
She would be in Dalshu and probably heading back to Wuzhen after resolving Iron Godmong's issue. So it's been a couple of days, so maybe she'll be back by now, or sure.
It depends. Yeah, it's feasible that she could be back, depending on how difficult that whole operation was.
Yeah. Well, so we'd need to get word sent to her. I don't feel comfortable like signing her up for a duel without her permission.
Well, it's fine. That's let's set a date, and if we can't find a representative for the duel, then we can say that we can assume that Pei Rushin, what was that?
Pei Xinyu.
Pei Xin, that assume that Pei Xinyu's martial arts are.
She wins by default.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, we'll do that. So we'll send word.
Well, in that case, we should probably set a location as well. Like in a month's time, we will meet at blah 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 or whatever.
Okay. And I guess while we're around a bunch of heroes, we should probably see if any of them can deal with cheese bears.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, would they be agreeable to that if we said we will have a tournament somewhere? It would be a good
We'd have to be
place.
relatively soon, though.
Well, what do you? Yeah, they say so. So Bronze Master says, I think it's an excellent idea. When and where should we do this?
Well, since this all started in Dalshu, then maybe we should have the tournament in Dalshu.
He says, is that not a little dangerous given the Imperial attention to the community?
Yeah, maybe we should just do it here. Especially considering pretty much everyone except Saffron Tigers is here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, but in that case, they'll be waiting around for like a few weeks doing nothing, which they might be okay with.
A few days.
Well,
Yeah. Well, we have to get there and back, so.
So wait, what day did you guys want to have the competition on?
Well, if we use like the messaging service to send a message to Saffron Tigress, how long would it take her to get here?
It wouldn't take her that long. The only problem is there aren't that many. You'd have to. Well, you could use the DAC stations that way.
I mean, this Jam Village is vaguely on the river, right? Is it upstream or downstream?
So.
Oh no, Jam Village is nowhere near. Ignore me.
Yeah.
I completely blanked on that one.
So it would take about 3 days to get the message to her, and then you could expect that it would take her to get, if you wanted her to go to Zhang Village. 6 days, so 9 days total.
So 2 weeks then, basically.
Yeah.
How about Wame Temple? That could be a fitting place.
Is Wanmei Temple?
That's where Saffron Tiger's trained.
And what's there now?
I don't know, I think it got destroyed. so it'd be kind of like ruins, so it'd be atmospheric.
Yeah, we can arrange to meet at one main temple then.
Yeah, also it's like a few like hexes over, so
It's sort of in the
closer.
middle. It's in the middle of all the places.
Yeah, and it's also kind of off the beaten track, so we're not likely to get like be found by random patrols.
It's on the hill too, so the high ground, which, as we all know, is very important.
So Bronze Master looks at you and he says, "Very well. We will meet you in Wanmei Temple in what is it? 14 days."
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would give us plenty of time for her to get a message, to get back, to get there, and to scold me.
Well, technically, we don't need to send a messenger because in 3 days you could have gone back to. We could go back to Wuzhen by ourselves.
Oh yeah, we can just do that. Yeah, do that. So I guess we'll stay the night in Zhang Village at the inn, and then head out to meet Saffron Tigress in the morning.
Okay. All right. Do you want to do anything special that night? Oh, and your stay costs you 100 spades. With
I'll
it
take it
includes
out
the
of,
wine and the food and everything.
I'll take it out of Elliot's money.
Yeah, you can afford it,
Yeah, just got 5 tails. So.
and he already had 15.
It's 1,000 spades to a tail, so it's 900 spades. Alrighty.
So on your way out, it looks like everybody has left except for the woman with the soft armor and the hairdo, and she gets up and she bows to you when you're about to leave.
I buy back like, can I help you?
She says, "I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I am Queen Luji of Haiping sect."
Queen.
I am Dao Feng of the 87 Killers, kind of. I'm not entirely sure where I stand with them at the moment.
She says, I have heard about your situation. She says, "I am impressed with your hidden righteousness."
Yeah, hidden righteousness. Let's call it that.
What was her name again? Was it
Queen Luji.
Queen, as in like actual?
I mean, she doesn't explain it to you, but it could just be a title.
She from the Haiping sect, did you say?
Yep.
All right.
And she says, I have no aspirations of putting somebody on the seat of the throne, but I was hoping to secure a respectable position for my sect if we were to join in the movement. We are accustomed to governing. We could make very effective administrators.
Oh, well, that sounds very useful. But where do you govern at the moment?
Haiping village in the Banyan region. But if the glorious emperor were to be defeated, we would uproot our people and return to the empire.
What's your specific quarrel with him?
With the glorious emperor?
Yes.
Well, he's wicked.
Drunken Sword has no comment in the this. Like he's getting a head start and just drinking, I think. So.
Well, like Dao Fang just looks kind of a little confused, like why he suddenly has power to put people in government positions. Or why people seem to think he does, at least.
Well, you don't have any authority at this moment, but
but they think I do.
Yeah, but what you can probably gather is that you're at the ground floor of something that's occurring, and you're going to be one of the people that will have influence over where the where all of the benefits go when it's all done.
Well, if people have such experience in governance, then you'd certainly have my vote if it counts for anything.
She nods and she says, "Then, well, I will give you my support, and I will bring my sect and my people to help."
Oh, I appreciate that.
And she says, "Very well. I'm going to return briefly to the Banyan, and then I will rejoin you at Wanmei Temple with all of my nuns and all of my villagers."
I look forward to it.
And she bows and she leaves.
Was this happening before we went to sleep or after?
This was after.
Before...
This was as you were leaving. On like when you came downstairs. She waited till everybody left to speak with you.
Okay. Okay. I can see this devolving like into like an all-out civil war afterwards because I promised everyone the same thing.
Well, no, because we haven't technically promised everyone the same thing. Like we've promised Bronze Lobster. No, what's his name?
Bronze Master.
Bronze Master. To put someone with was he the guy in purple?
Yeah, he was the purple guy.
Yeah, the guy who slammed the book on the table.
Yeah, he gave your other character a different. He gave him his personal name when you met him before. He said his name was like you.
And Bronze Master wants someone with a surname Fan on the throne, and Pei Rumei wants someone from the Haiyan royal family on the throne.
Okay.
And what we're saying for Queen Lu Shi is that we'll put their sect in charge of administration. So no conflict of interest except potentially obviously between Bronze Master and Pei Rumei.
Okay, this is a kind of out there idea, but how about we find someone called Fan, marry him to one of the king's daughters, then kill off everyone that's in between that Fan guy and the throne, and then he becomes the king, and then we put him on the emperor's throne.
I think we have quite enough regicide for one campaign. But yeah, otherwise that seems like really good. Like I don't know, like it's not like we basically just said that we would, try to put someone with a surname Fan on the throne, and also to try to put someone from the royal family on the throne. Like after all of this shit goes down and the glorious emperor is dead, like what's to stop us from like not actually doing anything? Just like, you guys sort it out. Peace out.
I mean, by the time we've done that, we'll probably be a level. We got gained another level or two. So like, and their army will get decimated a bit. So they'll probably have about 100,000 people, and then it'd be like, oh, the four of us can take on 100,000 people, no problem.
Swords of Big Strike. 30 targets at a time. Well, no, like I don't know, like I don't think Haiyan, like it'll be a distraction, sure, but ultimately this isn't going to be a case where we win the force anyway.
Yeah,
basically impossible.
Just need numbers to make distraction, and then an elite strike team can go in.
Yeah, we'll probably have to try and enlist the beggar sect to give us any information about the location, the whereabouts of the Emperor during all of this. Not that Boris Strickland would have any of these ideas. This is out of character. This is mettering.
So, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't want to interrupt you.
So we're just heading to see Saffron Tigers.
So you're going to Wu Zhen, hoping that she's going to
Yes.
meet you there, basically.
Yes, and if not, I guess we'll head to my chun and hope to meet her on the way.
All right. So
And has Saffron Tigress come back at all? Like from Wuji's point of view?
yes. Yeah, so why don't you guys give me the rolls to get to Wu Zhen, and then we'll deal with Wu Zhen.
7.
All right, so give me one more. And Kenny, are you keeping track of days at this point?
Oh shit! Yeah.
All right. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4,
3.
5, I think it's been 6 days.
Second roll, I got a 1, a 2, and a 3.
All right, that was the second day you got. All right, so we'll mark that, and then we'll go over to Wuji. And
How
Wuji-
many days in the month?
26.
Okay, so one. And then it's a fifth of the what comes after the elephant.
What comes after the elephant? I have to look at my thing. Hold on. Another thing that I should know by heart by now, but just
You should have like a calendar for this
Yeah.
one stuck in your desk somewhere.
let's see. So you said it was the elephant moon, and so now it's gonna be. Oh, this is looking dire. The horse moon. Good time for travel and enduring hardship. A bad time for giving up or changing course.
Okay, so this is good for us.
Are we in the horse moon now?
Yep.
All right. So Wuji is there, and Saffron Tigress arrives, and she says, "Wuji, how are you?"
Oh no, then I'm fine, mother. What's the situation in Tongan?
She says, "We need to go to Longma Hall. Iron God Mung is there now with his people. Tungan is not safe any longer."
Did his men hold a revolt?
He was able to reclaim control of his sect, but they were not able to stay in Tungan. It was believed to be just too dangerous.
Is the emperor assigned to purging? What's the name of his sect? The Golden Way? No, the Gold. Does he have a sect name?
Yeah, the Golden Way. The Golden Way. They have not directly interfered with him yet, but we heard word that he has been after anybody associated with us.
And is the Longmar Hall safe?
The Longma Hall is the only safe place we could think of.
Very well. Do we want to wait for Darfan to come back first, or shall we go there now?
She says, "We can wait for Dalfeng, and then we will go." She says, "Did you learn anything?"
And I'll briefly describe the situation inside the tower, inside the statue, which presumably is where the Yao hearts are stored.
She says, "We will need to assemble a much bigger force, it sounds like."
Yes. We will probably need to try to recruit more men. You know, we only have Iron God Mung at the moment and his men, and that's not enough. That won't be enough to launch an assault on the Empire, on the Emperor, rather.
She says, I agree. She says, "Well, when we get to Longma Hall, we will sort out those details out."
And I hope that Longbar Hall aren't working with the Empire.
She says, "Well, they have a good reputation. I don't think that they are. I don't think that they would betray us at this point." So,
Oh, nod.
all right, Steven, can you roll me 2d10 and add them together?
6.
Oh, that's an interesting result.
I don't like the way you said that.
Let's see. All right, so you were starting at Zhang's, and this was on the second day.
Yes.
All right, so. Oh man, all right. Let me just see something here.
Not a good time to travel.
That's a good time to travel, surely.
Well,
yeah, but maybe
sounds like
maybe
it is
fate was looking favorably upon the people that you're about to meet, and not you.
I don't know. If they've run into us, I don't think that's a good fate for them.
Depends on
That's
who it
like
is.
mortals.
That's interesting. All right. So I guess I know who this is going to be. Can you roll me 1d10? I just want to see who you meet here.
10.
All right, you got a 10.
Yeah.
Q rank 10. Yow.
Shut up.
Which technically isn't too bad. They have like 30 odd wounds. We can deal with that.
Okay, all right. So a man appears before you as you're sort of moving through the hills, and there's also a group of disciples with him. He has two men with him, and he's incredibly ugly, but dressed in the finest robes you've ever seen. And he approaches you and motions for you to stop.
I start.
What do you want? Says Boris Drunken Zord.
He says, I want to know who's passing through my territory.
I'm Boris Drunken Sword. Who the hell are you? I'm Rodney Pickering.
He says, my name is Gua.
That sound familiar?
There's a lot of people named Gua in
Yeah.
this world, so actually, you can roll your institutions thing, Steven, just in case.
Got an 8.
All right, so you would know that this is probably Jade Ogre of the Southwind Manor.
What do I know about the Southwind Manor?
Let me see. What do you know about them? All right, so Southwind Manor is controlled by the four Uglies, who are four notoriously bad-looking siblings who dress well and seem elegant, but they're heroes and highly respected.
Okay. So they're not assholes.
I mean, they're quirky. They're certainly eccentric and a little bit unorthodox, but they are considered heroes.
Okay, so they're not like emperor's lackeys.
No, probably not.
Cool. We're just passing through your territory. Yeah, we I apologize for any trespass.
He sort of steps back and he nods and he says, very well. He says, you apologize for your rudeness and I will let you pass.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
And Drunken Soldier goes, wow, we don't have time for this. We have a revolt against the Emperor to organize here. Stop delaying us.
He says, there's no revolt against the Emperor. Don't be ridiculous. I would have heard of such a thing.
And he spits and he goes, yeah, you haven't even heard of what happened in Daozhu and the heroes gathering in Zhang Village.
I see all the ones of Sssion.
All right, make a roll.
Oh, I got a 9.
All right, so you seal the will. Do you want to stop him?
I think Drunken Sword is just like letting him do whatever, letting Davon do whatever he wants.
All right, so you keep talking, but nothing comes out, and he nods to you.
I apologize for my idiotic companion here. He's a drunk.
He says, "Is this true? What he said?"
A revolt is forming. It's in the very early stages at the moment.
He says, "Who is the leader?"
That's to be decided. That, in fact, it's one of the reasons we're traveling through your territory at the moment. We're going to retrieve my mother, Saffron Tigress, as she's one of the contenders to be the leader at the moment, alongside, what was that person's name?
Pei Shin Yu.
Alongside Pei Sheng Yu. There's to be a duel to decide.
He says, "Well, I owe your mother a favor, so I will lend her my support. When is the duel to take place?"
In 14 days, or is it 13 now?
12
13.
days now.
12 days now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's 40 days I went to sleep, and then this is 2 days traveling, so 12 days time.
Did you tell him it was at the temple?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. He says, "Tell your mother I will be there."
I will. Your robes are marvelous, by the way.
he nods and he says thank you.
Okay, I think it was bad as I thought it would.
And he begin he sort of motions for his men and they begin walking back towards their manor. Can you give me further rolls for the remainder of the journey?
10.
All right. Can you get another roll?
10 again.
All right, and one more roll.
And a 6.
All right, so it's still enough. So that was 1, 2.
So it's like horse 8 now, basically. Horse 8 for the horse. Yeah.
That sounds right. Horse 8, and you guys make it to Sssion, and the party is basically together again.
We'll try to keep it that way.
So you got what do you want to do when you get to Sssion?
I guess we'll go to the bookstore to find Kenny and Saffron Tigress.
Okay. All right. So she greets you, and do you you don't have to run through everything, obviously, but do you let her know all the stuff that happened and?
Yeah, so I tell her that a revolt is starting to form with heroes there. That we've managed to gain the support of that person whose name I keep forgetting. That it's going up against her for commander position.
Patient Yu, Pei Ru Mei,
yeah,
and
Queen
Pershi.
Yeah, and the guy we just came across, one of the
What's
Oakley
his name
brothers.
again? The brothers, yeah. Jade. What was the guy's name that we just met?
Oh, Jade Ogre.
Jade Ogre, yeah. And the children at Wanmei Temple, and it would be 9 days now?
Yep.
We have to meet in 9 days.
Yes.
She says,
"Is that a problem?"
"No, this is fine." She says, "We will. I will send a message to Long Mahal, and we will go to Wanmei Temple directly."
Well, Wanmei Temple is only a day away from Long Mahal anyway. Couldn't we, it's 2 days to Long Mahal and a day to Wanmei Temple, from my count? Is that something about right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
so
can go to Long Mahal, pick up Iron God Mung, and head to Wanmei Temple.
All right. She says, "Okay, why don't we do that then?" She says, "So this Bronze Master wants somebody named Fawn, and they want me to fight somebody?"
Yes. The other person contending for commander who's from what's the country called?
Oh, hey, Ion.
Haiyan. From Haiyan. He also wishes the Haiyanese king to be on the throne afterwards. But
We have no strong opinion on who sits on the throne, but we just want to kill the emperor. So these petty political squabbles aren't really.
I've just been telling them what they want to hear, really.
She says, "Is it that important for me to be the leader?"
I
Not
think
exactly. We just felt you'd probably do a lot better for the morale of people under us. Plus, we know you're capable.
She nods. And she
If you don't
says,
wish to be the leader, however, we can allow this Haiyanese woman to be.
"Well, let's see who our opposition is. That's what's most important."
I'll ask mother. How is the practice of the what's the manual called?
Oh, the
well,
the special manual that you guys found.
yes, that manual we can never remember the name. Manual of Master Guruan.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. What was she? Was she the one that was practicing that manual?
Yeah, she was holding on to it, and she was like teaching me some of the virus techniques from there. But she was learning from it.
All right. Let me see.
Has she managed to learn any of the techniques on there? It will be of great help, I assume, in the upcoming fight.
I just wanna. Yeah, I wanna just see what the. Oh yeah, she's mastered the techniques. She has. Let me just see if there's any that are outside of her ability. No, she's mastered them. So,
Probably also going to procure some poisons, some exotic ones.
Oh yeah, there was one where the virus was dipped in poison, wasn't there? And one
are
of the
you
poisons
ready
chi.
to start mastering them?
No, it's just Chi 5, right? I think.
Yeah, it's Chi 5.
Yeah, so we're still 4, so
Okay.
we're 7 XP away, so 2 sessions, like in theory.
Okay. All right. So she says, when you're ready, I will train you in these techniques. And she says, we can go to Long Mahal though. And
Let's check up on Iron God Mung. Yeah, he has done a lot for our family.
And so she and Niang offers to go with you as well if you.
Yes, so we'll tell her we're going, and then if she's offering to go, then we'll
Alright, so
take it along.
this is like the scene in the wuxia shows when like the group just gets bigger and bigger, and you just have this large group of people walking through the wilderness together.
Like 300 people
Yeah.
walking through the...
And all right, so
I prefer to think of it as like in Monty Python Holy Grail when they're traveling from place to place.
I just remember getting a little bit silly looking in the Heaven Sword Dragon Saber series at one point when they had a really large group.
Yeah.
So all right, so can I get some rolls again to get to Long Mahal?
Survival wilderness. Do you want to do it? I think Drunken Sword
Yeah.
stacks would be 10.
That'd be a 10 on the survival for the first one.
Uh-huh.
9. Oh, 10 for the second.
All right, so you make it to Long Mahal. So that's 2 days.
I
And
like these dice.
do you want to stay?
When were we due to return the sword by the way?
We had a month, and that was a while ago. Probably like a week ago, or more.
Yeah, I think
So
it's more than
we've
that.
got like 3 weeks left of the sword, basically, is what you're saying.
We have 26 days per month too is the thing to
Oh,
consider here.
so we've got like 2 weeks left of the sword usage.
Yeah, before we were supposed to go back, but I have a slight, I have a slight suspicion that there was some slight foreshadowing that he might be dead. So we can hope for that.
It's not like moon bears are rare.
Yeah.
Oh, because the guy was eating the moon bear.
Yeah, and he said that it'd been like a while, and it'd been like rotten for a while, and we like left him for like more than a week before. I wasn't sure if we maybe like led Yao to the cave, then taken his Yao killing weapon.
So, all right, you make it to Longmont Hall, and let's see who. Have you guys all been here before?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so Yao Shanhu, Raging Bear, brings you guys inside, and Iron God Mung is there, just sort of drinking with all of his men, and they've been given like their own area to reside, and he says, oh Wuji Daofeng, Saffron Tigress, come in, please, and he presents you all with a wide variety of wines and drinks and food.
I partake in that. Say to him, "It's good to see you again, Iron Godman."
He nods and he says, it's good to see you too. Though how long we will live, who knows?
I intend to live a long life.
How are things in Tongan?
Dire. I had to take my men out of there.
Oh no, I give him like a brief update of what's been going on and like and the duel that's going to be happening to determine the leader of the alliance.
He sort of stops and thinks, and he says, well, we want to make sure whoever wins this duel is the right person. He says, I will go with you.
And the party grows.
Well, I'm assuming it's just him and not all of his men as well.
Yeah, no, just him. He says, are we leaving now, or do you want to stay here for a few days?
We should. Well, we've still got a while until the. Until the duel.
7 days.
Yeah. We should stay a while and hone our techniques before we travel to Wanmei Temple. I'm not eyeing Iron God Mung's like Iron Body reversal or anything at all.
So he nods and he says very well. He says if there's anything that I can do to help, let me know.
Speaking of, I've recently gained the ability to use my Neigong. Would you be able to teach me anything? Any techniques to?
He says, of course. He says, what would you like to know?
I'd like to be able to defend myself from attacks.
He says...
Counters, Brendan, counters.
He says, very well. He says, but I must insist, Wuji, that you become my student if you wish me to pass my kung fu to you.
I mean, I'm nodding, so I don't think there would be any issue with that. I look over at Saffron Tigress.
No, she doesn't take any issue.
You know what? Screw it. Very well. You have done a lot for our family, and it would be my honor to have you as my master.
He says, very well. He starts. He grabs a vessel of wine, and he says, kowtow 3 times and promise to serve me dutifully.
I do that.
All right, and he guzzles his wine, and then when you're done, he spits the wine on you, and he says, you are my student now. He says, let's begin your training, and what? Let me see. You wanted to learn the reversal technique, right?
Any counters would be good because I only have whirling dodge at the moment, basically, and that's not sufficient.
All right, let me see here.
Not a deflecting canopy.
Oh yeah, deflecting canopy, but that's niche. I
Pretty
use it for
useful
catching
for-
women falling out of the sky than defending myself, to be honest.
So Belly of the Iron God is, I think, the one that you were.
Like essentially, all I want is something that can counter techniques that isn't just wording dodge, basically.
So you're only Chi rank 5, right? So you can't do Belly of the Iron.
4.
Oh, you're
Chi
Chi rank
rank
4. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so. All right. So you might.
So it would just be like Iron Body Reversal or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's
Iron Body? No, that's a counter.
So he has Iron Spirit Reversal, Iron Spirit Resistance, and Iron Body. And you don't have any of them, so do you want to start an Iron Body? Is that?
So he's got all the iron line, basically.
Yep. And he's got his own one for when you get to Chi rank 6.
So up to 1 muscle. Holy shit, that's no good at all. Any of these.
Your muscle needs some work. Is that?
My muscle needs some serious work if I want to use any of these. Muscle against opponent's parry. God, none of them are very appropriate. Let me have a read, and we'll continue. We'll assume that I learned an appropriate
Okay, all right.
one of the techniques once I've read through them.
Do you guys want to simply advance time until the day of the competition?
Well, the day before, because you got to travel there.
All right. Are you sure you want to give yourself just a day?
We'll give it 2 days. We'll arrive a day early.
All right, so time passes. We'll deal with those techniques, Kenny, when when we and can you give me a survival roll to get to Wanmei Temple?
Six.
All right. So you get to Wanmei Temple. And when you arrive there, you see that Pei Jinyu and Pei Ruomei are both there, and they greet you.
Are they related? They're not related, are
No,
they?
they're not
Just have
related.
the same
No,
side.
no,
Okay,
just-
gotcha. Just making sure.
And
Them back.
what was that?
We greet them back.
And they say, we'll wait for the rest of them, and then we'll hold the competition.
And I'll introduce. I assume we get introduced, and Saffron Tigress gets introduced as well.
Everyone introduces, and Pei Jinyu is very polite to Saffron Tigress. He says, "I've heard of your abilities, and I will be respectful, and I will not strike with lethal intent." And your mother reciprocates that sentiment. Let's see, the next day. Let's see, the next day.
Is it just ruins at the temple, by the way? Now is it?
It's just ruins, yeah. All right, so the next. Hold on 1 second. So just take me one moment here. So, all right. So the next day, Bronze Master arrives, and Queen Luji arrives. But Bronze Master arrives with a guy who looks like a Kailin tribesman, and he's quite tall. He looks like he's like 6'4" or something. And
Kai Lin, as in the people I stole that thing from.
yeah, the people with the braids and everything. And he greets all of you. And he says,
Does
"I have
he
brought an
recognize
additional
me?
competitor."
Does he recognize me?
Hmm? Oh
Does he
yeah, no, oh
recognize
yeah, he does recognize you. Did you guys exchange names? Did you say that your name was Wuji?
Yes.
He says, "Wuji, it's good to see you again."
I don't think I introduced myself as Wuji at that
Oh,
time.
okay. So then he just says, "My friend, it is good to see you again."
I'll greet him and go, brother, you. He's brother you, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I told you we'd be seeing each other soon. I apologize for not using my real name when introducing myself to you previously.
He nods and he says, "I would like to introduce you to Fan Batu. He's a member of the Kailin tribe."
Does he have like golden rings, silver rings, and copper rings?
No, no. He
Fan Batu.
Fan Batu.
I'll greet him, Master Fan or Mister Fan or whatever the appropriate.
He nods and kind of grunts a little bit. And he says, "I'm ready to fight."
Is there one more day until the competition, or is it today?
I think he arrived on the day of the competition.
Well, now that there are 3 competitors, how do we want to go about this?
So,
Guess we're gonna need a fourth. I look at Boris Drunken Sword.
does he agree?
Don't need to win. Just beat that guy.
I don't know. Do you think he would accept it? I guess yeah, sure. I can show off my sword skills to everyone.
All right, so I'm gonna end it here. One sec.